Hey everybody, welcome back to Women Carry Knives. On the table in front of us, we are taking a look at the Harnds Harvest. So, I told you guys I was going to be doing some budget knives. It kind of mixed in with some more expensive knives because we're coming up on Christmas. So, we want you guys to have good options. This is absolutely a good one. Again, this is the Harnds Harvest. It does come in yellow, brown, and black. Now, you can find these on Amazon for $41.99. And I will leave a link down in the description for you guys. Let's get into it. We have got a 14C28 and Sandvik steel blade. You have a beautiful satin finish on this one, and I don't know if you can see that. But you do have a beautiful satin finish, and you've got a plain edge on this one. Your handles you're going to find are G10 black, obviously, and it is going to be a liner lock. Now, the G10 does have, pardon me, just enough texturing to it that it feels really, really good in hand, and it's going to give you a good grip, and I love that. Hopefully my camera is not too far away, but this one is running on bearings. As you can see, it came centered, which, you know, is always a plus. You gotta love that. Super smooth, you guys. I love that. It does run on bearings, as I said, and it is a flipper. I do love the fact that you do have jimping on the back of the blade, and you actually have some jimping back here on your spacer, which is really nice. Some people like to really choke up on their knives. Some people prefer to hold them just like this, right? Or you may want to choke up. Now, it's not really a finger choil, but if you have smaller fingers, you are able to really choke up on this knife. And I like that too. So it's always nice for me when a knife is larger to have the ability to choke up on a knife. You have a pocket clip that is just stainless steel. However, it is ambidextrous. So you do have a right or left hand carry. So that's a little lefty love for you guys. And your pocket clip actually is recessed into the scales itself, which that's always super nice. Now, as you can see, it is not a deep or recessed pocket screws or flush pocket screws, if you can see that. So they are going to stick up a tad bit, but the fact that your clip is actually sunken in a little bit is nice because it doesn't give you that, even that little bit extra of a lift on there. You do have the ability to put a lanyard on here if you so choose, which is nice, and I do like that. You do have a bit of a pronounced liner and liner lock on this side, which is nice because it gives you a little bit easier access to it, as you can see there. This has been a phenomenal knife for the price, for the size. I mean, it is so smooth, and you know, sometimes you're looking for a knife and you don't want to spend $100 or more. This is a great choice. Now, I'm going to grab my comparisons and let's take a look here. Hang on one second. All right, we're going to use our rats because a lot of people, I like to use these a lot of the times because most people have an idea of what the rat 1 or 2 are or the size of them. So if you want to take a look at this pivot to pivot, you can see that this is absolutely a large knife. Now, it feels like a large knife. I say that. Sometimes I get a knife in hand, and even though it's smaller, it feels large. This one doesn't, I don't even know how to say that, you guys. It doesn't necessarily feel super large, and I think that's because the handle's a lot slimmer. But it is, and it feels really good in hand. If we take a look at it next to the Rat 2, and we'll line it up again, pivot to pivot, you can see that I consider this to be a smaller knife. So you can see that the Harnds Harvest is definitely a large knife. Now, why do I like it? Again, I love the fact that the G10 has texturing to it. If I can get that in the light, you can see that, right? There's just enough texturing to it where it's got such a good grip to it. It doesn't feel loose. You know, when your hands get cold, my hands anyway, when they get cold, sometimes I feel like I'm losing my grip a little bit on the knife. Or if you're out, I would definitely take this one camping with me. I would probably, unfortunately, I would probably use this one to go ahead and gut my fish. If that's the case, it's going to be slippery. So you're going to want something with a good grip. As I said, I always love the jimping on the back of a blade because it gives me that little bit of extra. And that's always really nice for me. The length on this is really good. So as you can see in my hand, and we talk about it all the time, I'm 3 inches across and 4 inches diagonally. I would tend to hold this one a lot less diagonally, if that makes any sense. And I think it's because of the size of it. So we're going to talk about the pocket clip a little bit. I've been a huge pocket clip person lately, whether it's going to bother my hand at all. In all honesty, this one does bug me a little bit. I think it's because of the way that I'm holding it. So where I tend to hold it, the pocket clip is going to land kind of right here. And that is a little bit bothersome to me. It's not overly pronounced. I think with a little adjustment and how I'm holding it, it wouldn't bother me so much, which is perfect. And here comes the cat. So we're going to point that blade down. Go on through, kitty cat. But the feel in hand, the rectangular handle, you know, and I've said that time and time again that I love the shape of the rectangular handle because it really allows any size hand to comfortably carry. You do have a tiny bit of curve in the handle, which is nice because I feel that where your thumb is going to land, it just makes it ergonomically, it just makes it very well set into your hand. So, yeah, depending on how I'm holding it, if I can hold it a little more diagonally, I'm not noticing the pocket clip at all, which is really good. If I choke up on it, obviously the pocket clip is going to be a lot less noticeable. Would I tend to choke up on a blade this big? You know, I might because it is a bigger blade. I might hold it more this way. If I do that, you can see I've got a good, you know, almost 2 inches hanging off the back of the knife here. But I have smaller hands, so that is going to make a difference. Either way, however I hold this, it is very comfortable to me. Yeah, if I hold it a certain way, I do not feel that pocket clip at all, and that is really nice to me. The smoothness, let's see the lockup on this one. The lockup on this one is probably, we're probably right at about 45–50% on this. But that's not bad. That's really good. Again, I love the fact that it is very centered, which is really nice. There's no adjustments that had to be made to this one. And for $41.99, who's complaining? I'm not. I think it is absolutely awesome. There's not a lot, you know, I mean, there's billboarding. Most knives do have it. You can see there, they've got the logo right there, right? And most knives do have some billboarding on it. You do have the name of your knife on the back, on the lock side. But not bad at all. Very sharp, very sharp. It feels, for a more budgety knife, yes, it is a little bit thicker of a blade. However, very, very sharp. And 14C28 is going to be very easy to sharpen. So that is always a plus too. All right, you guys, wanted to give you a look at the Harnds Harvest. It is a budget knife, but again, I want to give you guys some budget options coming up here on Christmas of ones that are still great knives at a really good price. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining me. Don't forget to hit that like button on the way out. If you're not a subscriber, I'd love to have you here all the time. As always, feel free to leave me a comment down in the comments section. It does help the channel. And until next time, have a good one.